I love great conversations. Hi, my name is Angel Jones. Thank you for joining me on 12-minute convos where I help you create a brand of your own unique, real self. Listen in as I have conversations with amazing people from all over the world. Good day, Carmi Van Horne. How are you going on this wonderful, beautiful day?
It is a gorgeous day, and I am doing extremely wonderful.
It's a great pleasure to connect with you. What part of the world are you in right now?
I'm on in Atlantic Canada, so I'm on the Bay of Fundy. I'm right above Maine, about an hour from the New Brunswick-Maine border in St. John.
All right. And which of your talents is responsible for us connecting at this time?
Well, I think it's because I started a podcast on entrepreneurs in St. John, but I'm a business management and communications professor.
Well, that's amazing. Wow. And you started a podcast. Ooh, how has that been? Tell us the name of it.
The podcast is called Awesome Entrepreneurs of St. John, and I started it to change the narrative into a more positive one about this community. We're one of the poorer communities of Canada, but the people I meet since I've moved here in August are pretty awesome. So I wanted to get those stories out there.
Yeah, well, it's just about lunchtime here, and I listened to the episode where you all were talking about the food, and definitely got me going, right?
Was it the Nigerian food or the platform?
It's the platform where you all, it's like so many different types of food, right? And the food trucks, wow.
Yeah, it's just amazing. And they're Sankara Cuisine, and they're doing just a wonderful job of integrating newcomers into the community as vendors of their food. You know, there's only 1% ethnic minority in this city. It's very not diverse. And so they're trying to celebrate the diversity we do have and encourage more people to move here.
Which is amazing, which is a great idea, which is fascinating how it occurred as well. It's like it was just an idea and then they're doing it, right?
And then they're doing it, and they're just a wonderful couple. Tito is from Nigeria, spent time in Cameroon, and he's techie, and Lily is an artist. She's Métis, and she's from further east in Halifax.
You definitely stepped into the world of podcasting. Now, I noticed it seemed as though it was like a radio station. So is it that it's a radio program and you share it via the podcast as well?
Yes, it's a community radio station, 107.3 FM. It's our university radio station. And the station manager, Glenn, and the program manager, Julia, are kind of leading me through, but they said the data is mine, and they encouraged me to start a podcast with it.
Wow. So who did you learn the skills of broadcasting from?
From them. So I'm an old lady professor, and these are definitely new skills for me. And so they are taking me by the hand, Glenn and Julia both, and guiding me through mix downs and all of this, step-by-step stuff.
Yeah,
but without them, I wouldn't do
jargon.
It. Yes, it's actually, these are new skills, and I'm still developing them. I can do it kind of without them, but mainly at this point, I'd like them near me, like a little person learning to walk. You look for your mom or dad or auntie around you, right?
Yeah, for
so
sure.
I look to them to make sure, am I doing this right?
So you've definitely gotten your feet wet. Now that you have, why will you continue to repeat the skills that you're learning?
Well, because I'm having the best time. I think that's why you're doing what you do. I'm meeting these wonderful people and hearing their stories and then sharing their stories. And as a researcher, an academic, I'm finding rich data. But as a human, I'm just finding these amazing stories. I love it.
That's amazing. Tell us one other thing that you've done consistently over the last 3 years, please.
Well, what I try to do is learn new skills that scare me and do things that scare me. I was overseas in Abu Dhabi for 7.5 years, and I decided it was time to come back to Canada. And so I came back. I was looking for a job around Montreal, and then this job on the East Coast came up, and I said, why not? I'll go there. I didn't know anybody. And I just went. And so I think that's the pattern. I say, why not? Pourquoi pas? In French. And that's what I do.
You did
just like the podcast.
You did some amazing things while you were there. Just to touch on that lightly, tell us about the book.
Well, so we wrote a book. It was the first book on Emirati entrepreneurship. And it's a book that's been translated into Arabic. And it's on one of the online platforms. So it's a free book, of course. But every week it's downloaded in wonderful places, because it's one of the first books on entrepreneurship that's been translated into Arabic. And so this week, I think it's been downloaded 12 times from Yemen, in Syria, in Iraq.
Wow.
And it's a wonderful feeling that people are reading you, and you might be spurring inspiration or insight in people you don't know, and people who really can make an impact in their communities. So it's exciting.
Yeah, it is exciting. Well done.
Thank you.
Amazing. You're welcome. Why would you suggest someone that's listening do what you've done by journeying into what could seem like the unknown, to learn more?
Well, I'm 45 years old, and I'm a professor, and sometimes we get too comfortable in our own skill set. But we have to keep expanding that skill set. One, it helps make us better professor, better teacher, better educators, because if we aren't going through that learning process ourselves, we forget how tough and scary it is. And so sometimes learning new skills is scary, actually a lot of time. And so by doing it, even when we're totally comfortable with who we are, what we are, I think it just makes us better educators, better people. And of course, it's fun.
It's fun. Love the fun part. Well, amazing audience. You're hearing it live here from Carney Von Horne. She is the podcast host. Look at her, right? The podcast host of Awesome Entrepreneurs of St. John. Well, Carney, let's switch gears for a moment now, and let me invite you into my time machine that is surrounded with beautiful, warm, blue Caribbean water. Honey, what is your earliest childhood memory?
Well, I read that question, and I don't actually remember. I actually went and then I thought about it. I think it was in Sunday school, and singing "Jesus Loves You" in Sunday school.
How old do you think you were?
I think I was about 4 or 5. It was before kindergarten.
Why do you think this?
So it's definitely clear? 4.
Yeah.
Why is it so clear?
Yeah.
It's because, I'm not a super religious person. I'll consider myself more spiritual. But at that moment, I said, oh, wow, Jesus loves me. I just remember that. And I felt nice.
That's great. Well, can I offer an interpretation to the thought picture you created in my mind?
Yes, of course.
What is that in French? If you had to say it in French, can I offer an interpretation?
Well, actually, French is my second language.
Okay.
So it's just, but sometimes the words come to me because I did my studies in French.
Okay.
And
All right. So let's not put you on the spot then.
Thank you.
Well, I love the idea of what it takes. So I love the idea of you journeying into spaces that seem to be very scary, but the fact of the matter remaining that there is a love that is not seen, but is definitely present.
Wow. Yeah. This is like a 12-minute therapy session. I think maybe that's why I have the courage to do these seemingly scary things, but I know that I'll be okay.
Yeah, because Jesus loves you, right?
Yeah. That's so nice. Thank you, Ingo.
You're welcome. If we fast forwarded to when you were 12 years old, what was your favorite song?
When I was 12, it was probably Jesse's Girl.
All right. It's amazing.
Because it was the first cassette I ever bought.
Wow.
And it was the first song, I think, on the cassette.
Wow, that's amazing. All right, my friend. Well, we've arrived at our destination now, but before we get off of this time machine, there is a small declaration form. So it's yes or no, possibly a bit more. We're going to go pretty quickly here. Are you ready, Connie?
Yes, I am.
Connie Van Horne, have you chosen someone to pass on your skills to?
I have my nieces.
Sweet. Are you married?
I'm divorced.
Do you have children?
I don't. I have students.
Okay. Students count. I think students count. Do you believe in God?
I do.
Do you have an inner circle of friends?
I have many circles of friends.
Do you watch TV for more than 3 hours a day?
I just bought a TV 2 months ago. It's the first TV I've had in 12 years.
Wow.
So no.
Wow.
No.
Wow. Well, we love the number 12 here, but wow. 12 years. What about screen time? The phone under the computer, is it more than 8? Okay. Yeah, I usually
Let's
do
not
not
talk
get to
about
the end
that.
of that question.
Let's not talk about screen time. That's too embarrassing.
All right.
It's more than 8, probably.
All right. And if you had to share with us, Connie, your own unique real statement, a statement that represents who you are, what would you say that is?
It is smile and courage. Put a smile on your face even if you don't feel it, and have courage because everyone is scared.
I love it. Connie Van Horne, this was a great pleasure. Before you leave, is there anything else you'd like to share with our amazing audience?
Thank you very much. No, just tune into my podcast and you can find it on iTunes and Google Play. And I can't wait to listen to more of your podcasts.
Sure.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Awesome entrepreneurs of St. John. Carney, my apologies, Van Horne. Thank you, my friend, for being on what is inspired by 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones.
Thank you.
Thank you for being on 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones. Stay tuned for more from our advertisers.
Diabetes is a mountain pandemic. It's a disease that's not acute but chronic. Similar to this rhyming method, I have simplified the definition, the signs and symptoms, and the complications of diabetes for both adults and children in my books, Poems for Patients, A Focus on Diabetes, and The ABCs of Diabetes for Children. These books are available on Amazon.com, and for more information, you can visit my website, poemsbyaj.com. That's poemsbyaj.com.